The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Well, we've been graced by an absolute legend of netball in the studio at the moment. Australian sporting royalty, Liz Ellis, 122 games for the Diamonds, absolutely dominated through her career. But we're going to be talking to you about a new show, Liz, which is fantastic.
Well, netball and gladiators go hand in hand, don't they? It's a match made in heaven.
Yes, and I've seen the cast of gladiators. Some of them look like they're wearing shiny bibs. So
And with a big G, like
with a big
goal.
G.
And as a GK, you know, you were a career defender. Because Gladiators is all about defence, really, from
That's
the Gladiators'
right.
point of view.
Yeah, it is. They've got to defend against the contenders on the pyramid and up the wall and all sorts of crazy events that we do. It's amazing. It's just the most phenomenal show. And to have it back, like, you know, lots of
Liz,
people
we
grew
grew up
watching
with it.
Yeah.
We grew up with it. Yeah,
There was Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan,
Yeah,
who was Nick
Vulcan.
Natanui's
Yeah.
cousin or uncle or something.
And there was Storm and Fury. I remember Fury.
Oh, Fury and Delta.
And Delta.
And there's been a Netflix special that you can see on Gladiators because the guys were going hard and making sure that they, they were big and built and strong, and they got lots of injuries when they were being the Gladiators back in the day.
It was amazing. Did you watch it, Muscles and Mayhem at
Yeah,
school?
I've seen it, yeah.
I watched it just before we went in to start filming.
Yeah.
And actually, it was really nice because even though it was just, there were some pretty controversial things in it, but I felt like I was really part of something. And I'm a bit of I love heritage and that sort of thing when you talk about the Diamonds. And when I was a captain, it was one of the things that I was really big on, of getting the girls to think about where we'd come from. And then to watch that Muscles and Mayhem and go, oh, I'm not just making a television show. This is something that's meant a lot to people in a lot of different countries over a number of years.
Yep.
So it was a real privilege to be part of that. And then to walk into the actual arena, it's like a Marvel comic universe.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's like the Avengers.
It is. It's exactly what it's like. And then these gladiators who are... So I want you to think about... and Shaun, you would have seen people like this. You know, like the contenders in the show are like people who are just really fit at the gym.
Yes.
All right, super fit. Just
Nathan's been doing
yourself,
push-ups
Nate.
and things.
Thank you.
Look it up there.
Look at him,
Yeah.
I've recently gone up a size.
Do you know what? I thought I almost saw a peck then.
Just a peak of a
It
peck.
was just a wrinkle. It was a wrinkle in your t-shirt, but that's okay. But so the contenders look like fit people at the gym. The gladiators are
Beasts.
next level.
Yeah.
Like they are so the next level. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, because there's CrossFitters, there's a couple of CrossFitters in there. There's a number of bodybuilders in there.
Yes.
Apart from other athletes who have been at Commonwealth Games, maybe. Was
Yeah,
there
so
one?
the Electra is she was a Commonwealth Games gymnast.
That's
so
right.
she's amazing. And Phoenix was an NRL player who is phenomenal.
Yep.
And I didn't realise that CrossFit was such a thing. It's like
it's
a massive
huge.
thing. It's like
Is CrossFit the thing where they just pick up heavy things and anything's a gym? Is that CrossFit?
Yeah,
is
anything's
that?
a gym. Oh, I guess so. If you're watching it on ESPN, which is
Yes.
shown all the time, they're
Yes.
doing all kinds of disciplines. So it might be bike riding into clean and jerks, into a running race, into a swimming.
Yeah.
and they're phenomenally fit. Like it is next level fitness, and it becomes like it's such a massive lifestyle. So some of the contenders were coming in and actually fanning on the gladiators because they'd seen them in CrossFit. So they were
right.
so excited to be getting smashed down the pyramid by their heroes.
Oh,
Now-
yeah. I like it.
You, of course, are in charge of this whole show, so I'm guessing you know all the bits and pieces. So
I didn't know what I need to know. I'm a simple woman.
I want to talk about costuming. Did they get any say? Because I'm seeing Jet Kenny here in a midriff
Oh, look,
with some feathered shoulder pads.
anytime you see Jet Kenny in a midriff, it's a good day.
I would say,
He's
is
got
he
a
ever
sweet
not
rig.
in a midriff would
Look
be
at
the
his-
question.
Look at his feathered his feathered fairy shoulder pads.
Sean,
And
all
then
right.
we've got this guy here. Who's he?
Oh, that's Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Oh, that's
He's wearing
Sandor,
Yeah,
the
he's
rugby
the
player.
Sandor,
NRL
yeah.
And from going to rugby to wearing a giant silver cape with a boob tube.
Yeah.
It is so
Nathan,
great.
do you know what,
Big
Nate?
unit.
I
You
love
wouldn't-
we live in this day.
If he walked in here, you wouldn't say that to his face.
Oh,
You'd be
I
like,
would. I
"Oh
would
my
just make sure
God."
that I dove out of the window straight away afterwards.
And look, all I cared about was that I wasn't wearing a midriff. I'm a lady in my 50s who's given birth twice.
But
love a pair of bloomers.
with a cape, then it would work.
If it had capes and feathers, there'd be sort of something to hide my cake under, I guess. But yeah, no, that's as soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's great for them. What am I going to wear? So I'm
Yes.
very sensible in my attire.
I love it.
Hey, Liz, we've seen you on a lot of TV shows over the journey, particularly sporting ones. But to do this and be a host of a show, was there any trepidation, is this going to work? Is this going to be for me?
Yeah, heaps, right? So this time last year, I was in a caravan on the Western Australian coast with my family. We took the year off and went travelling, took the kids out of school. And during that period of time, I was thinking, oh, well, I've sort of called netball for 15 years.
Yeah.
I've had this very serious sort of sporting media career. And then I thought, I'll just have to get a regular job. And I got home and I got the call up to do I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And my first reaction was, nah, not doing that. And they kept calling me back, and then they sent a sizzle reel. And the worst thing that I did was to watch that reel with all the fun stuff with my 12-year-old daughter.
That's a bit of a laugh.
And she was like, Mum, that's amazing. You got to do it. I said, no, I don't want to do it. She goes, why not? And I said, well, I just, it's reality TV. I just worry
You have to drink giraffe urine and things. Like, you know, there's a lot of downsides.
Oh, I don't mind drinking all sorts of things, but that didn't bother me. But I was more what will people think? Yeah. And she was like, Mum, you've always told us to never worry about what other people think. So the moral to that story is don't teach your children things, because I'll throw it back to you and someday you'll end up in the jungle. So I said yes, and it's just been a phenomenal year to go, oh, what a rollercoaster.
Well, you said yes, you won it.
And then I won it.
You were Queen of the Jungle.
Which surprised me massively.
Yeah.
And then to do Gladiator, Shaun, getting back to your question, it was just, I was really nervous, but the best thing that happened was that Bo Ryan was my co-host.
He's a very natural presenter.
Very natural, and he hosts every show on Channel 10. I'm waiting for him to read the news, actually. I think that's probably the next part of his career. But he's doing Top Gear, and he's done the Amazing Race. And so he's really experienced, and he just sort of held my hand at the start and sort of walked me through it. But I think it's just, our whole thing was about showing that not only is this fun and it's entertainment, but the gladiators are phenomenal athletes, but the contenders are really impressive athletes. And you would understand this, Shaun. This is their World Cup. This is their grand final for them to be up against their heroes competing. So we sort of are trying to bring a little bit of that to it as well.
I'm a bit confused, Liz, because you keep directing all the sports comments to Shaun, but you have commented on my pecs being bigger, so I don't actually get why they're not being directed to me.
It's weird, Liz.
That to me is weird.
Hey,
absolutely.
Liz, we're going to get you to hang around. The very great Liz Ellis is in the house. Captain, Australian netball captain, Queen of the Jungle, now host of Gladiators. She can do no wrong.
You've done it all, Liz. And we've been talking about a whole heap of things while the music's been playing, but you've touring around WA. So tell everyone where you started. New South Wales, but you got to the north of WA to come back down.
Yeah, so we started in New South Wales, came up through South Australia and the Northern Territory, and then headed across into Kununurra, did the Gibb River Road, and then just tootled down the coast, ducked into Mount Augustus, stayed with friends of friends at Marble Bar on a cattle station there, which was unreal.
Wow, so you're like...
You've seen stuff that we've never seen.
Most people just stop at a town, but you're like doing cattle stations and...
Yeah, all the things, right?
When they have the news here, Liz, they always have, 37 today in Perth, and then I have Marble Bar, which is 2037.
It's the hottest place going around.
It was warm, but it wasn't too bad because we were there in the middle of winter, so we sort of timed it well. And then, we camped on the Ningaloo coast and did all of that, swam with the whale sharks, came down and at Jurien Bay we did the sea lion, swimming with the sea lions, which was unreal. My husband was like, don't sharks eat sea lions? I'm like, yeah, look, just you'll be fine, sweetheart. And here we are, we're all still alive.
I'm thinking if a shark had a choice and he saw a sea lion and a human on the same plate, it would eat the sea lion, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes they get confused
because a human
about what
would be
they
like
look
a bit of, when you get like a thick breakfast sausage and a thin one, you'd go for the thick one, wouldn't you? And that'd be the seal.
Says a lot about you, I think.
Thick and thin. I don't know where we're going with that. But we actually did a tour with one of your old mates, Shaun.
Yeah, you brought it up, Darren Capewell, king of Shark Bay.
Yeah, so I booked in to do a tour with him there. He does these great overnight tours up into the national park, into Francois Perron National Park, and I'd read that it was great. He did good tours, and he rang me one day, and it had started to rain. You know, when it rains up there, everything just shuts down. He said, we'll have to hold the tour over for a couple of days. And then he goes, are you who I think you are? And I'm like, I don't know. Who do you think I am?
Yes, it's Liz Hurley.
Well, I used to get Liz Smiley, but I take Liz Hurley.
Too extra.
And, no, it's okay, too extra. Anyway, so he said, right, I'm going to meet you at the pub in an hour. I was like, right, kids, husband, we just got ourselves together. We walked down to the Shark Bay Hotel and we had this huge night. And the kids are like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, just shut up and be quiet and sit over there. Here's a phone, look at the screen. And we had the funniest night. And then Capes took us on a tour and a couple of days later and we stayed overnight, and he's just amazing. But, he was king of Shark Bay, but I think the Dockers had won a final the night before or won a game the night before.
Yep.
And so he picked us up in his shorts and his singlet and his Freo scarf and was driving down the road in Shark Bay. There's only one road. Hanging his Stockers scarf out the window.
Tell us about how you started as a client but ended up in another place.
Oh, yeah. So then we did an overnight trip and then we got back and we hadn't booked into the caravan park and we were just going to free camp. He goes, oh, no, just pull your caravan up next to my place. So random. He had this empty block. Probably shouldn't. If you're on Shark Bay Council, please stop listening now. So we pulled the caravan up to this empty block and the next morning he knocks on the door and he goes, come in for a coffee. So we walk around to his place for a coffee and then he goes, oh, I've got a tour today. Can you make the salads? And
So you started interning over his tour company.
I'm standing in Capes' kitchen going, 2 days ago I was a valued client. Today I'm just an unpaid intern. Here I am making the salads.
2 days ago you were Liz Ellis.
Yeah.
Now you're the kitchen hand.
Now you're Liz Smiley.
There was no Smiley about it. I was like, here's your salads.
He's so lovely,
Honestly,
Katie.
you've had such a long time of being in the public eye, and people would, of course, act differently around you. So when you get to meet someone like that, is it just refreshing?
It is refreshing.
They
and it's
don't
fun.
care. It's just like,
No, he didn't care. He's more famous in Shark Bay than I am,
Yeah.
so it just worked beautifully. But it was heaps of fun. But, I find that, everyone's really nice to me. I walk down the street and people smile, mainly because they don't know who I am, but they think they might have gone to school with me. They just vaguely know
That
my
old
face.
chestnut, yeah.
Right. Did I go to school with you? No. But then I go overseas and people don't smile at me and I'm like, people
What's
here
wrong
aren't
with
happy.
them?
This is a crap country. And my husband's like, no, right here, you're getting what the rest of us live with. It's like, I'm going back home where people love me.
Because after the jungle, didn't you go on a holiday to France or somewhere?
did,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
And
that's what the Queen, she starts in WA, but once she's the
Gotta
Queen, she
spread your
goes to
wings
France.
I went to France. They don't like royalty in France, so I was very lucky to keep my head.
so what did you go to France for?
Oh, because I'd booked a holiday to France before I even decided to go into the jungle. It was just my husband and I. We hadn't had a holiday without the kids. We were seeing a friend over there, so we just thought we'd go to France for 2 weeks, and I just drank my body weight in rosé. Can I say that at this time in the morning?
Of course you can.
Just checking. Yeah,
Of
so
course
it
you
was
can. This
great.
show's
French
brought to you by
rosé.
Rosé.
Were you worried about leaving the kids for that long? I know it's a freedom, and there's a few mothers in this room who go, oh, yes, but 2 days. And did you ever get the shakes like I've got to see them?
No. Should I have thought about that a bit longer? No,
How old are they now?
They're 12 and 7. So, but they stayed with my mum, and
Yeah.
my mum is like, she had a horrible grandmother, so her whole grandmothering style is I give the kids whatever they want, and if they don't think of it, I'll think of all the bad stuff and still give it to them. And then she called 2 of her sisters and said, come up. So there was 2 kids, 3 grandmothers. It's taken probably from May until now for us to re-establish
To get their
some
blood
discipline
sugar
and order.
levels down.
Yeah. And then Halloween hit. We're all back to where we started from. I tell you, and I wasn't home for Halloween, so they were unsupervised on Halloween again. I think my husband was around somewhere.
I'll tell you what, Liz Ellis, the reason why people walk past and smile at you is you're bloody great.
You bring the joy.
You really are. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
great
good to
list.
chat to you guys.
Mate, we're always
Thanks
on the
for coming in,
phone,
mate.
never in real life.
I know. I've been into this
Yeah, she's
studio a
been here
couple of
before.
times.
Yeah, I know, but we're on the phone all the time.
I know. I should just move to Perth, shouldn't
It's a
I?
great idea.
The properties are like $20. Have you not been in the news?
Very nice.
Compared
stop
to
it.
Sydney,
You can
properties
make,
are
you can make salads
$20.
for us. We're
Yes.
right
Oh,
with that.
totally. I make an excellent salad. Just ask you make capes.
Katie.
Well, Gladiators
jeez.
is coming in 2024. Brace yourselves, everybody. Hosted by Liz Ellis and Bo Ryan. Thank you so much for coming in, Liz.
thanks,
You're a
guys.
joy.
Thanks, Liz. Good on
Pleasure.
you.
Thanks, Liz.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Talking about catching flights at the moment, our friend Harry is flying over. He's doing a live show for his podcast. Where are you
In
going?
Melbourne, yeah.
Kick it forward, kick it forward.
Would have been easier to do one in Perth, probably, but
Yeah.
You would have thought so.
Yeah.
But people
This
in
was
Perth
postponed,
hate
wasn't
him.
Harry, it was postponed for the grand final weekend, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, one of the Josh's old man got sick, but he survived remarkably.
So
That's good news.
the thing that Harry hasn't dealt with right now, I know Natalie and I do it straight away, is that once you are able to check in, you check out your flights, and that's usually upgrading and stuff like that. But you leave it just to the whim.
Well, you get the
of
better
gods,
seat.
Sean.
You get the best seat anyway, as I found out when I sat directly
when you
next
got
to you.
the emergency exit that I spent $75 for, God, that enraged me. But you're going to try and snag an emergency exit just by asking?
For sure. You kind of get go up to the lovely people, the service people, and first of all, they'd take a look at you and go, we've got a freak show here.
You are what?
6'6".
6'6", yep. And then I've never had trouble, unless there's absolutely a full flight and all the emergency exit seats are taken, I've never had a problem getting an emergency exit.
There was one you even rejected, wasn't there?
There was, because it was a middle seat emergency exit.
And that wasn't good enough.
So
then Harry asked for something else.
No, it's because there was a better option, which is sitting on a window seat and then having them put a seat block on the middle seat.
Block.
Yeah.
What? Well, what's that going to do?
No, it means no one can sit
I
there.
know no one can sit
So
there,
he
but
could
how's
put
that
his-
going to give you what?
No,
He puts his legs at an angle.
Sure, that's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, out to the right or left.
Are you listening to what Harry's saying? Harry's saying that he, after being offered the emergency exit aisle, says to them, "No, I'd like this seat, but I'd really like no one to sit next to me." And they said, "Okay, we will block that seat from anyone else sitting next to you." This is from asking.
It's lovely.
Yeah, you got to ask in a kind-hearted way. Yeah. I'm not demanding anything.
There's a lot of tricks to catching
cannot
flights,
do it.
not only planes,
Well, I mean,
but
he could
upgrades
just
and
pay.
stuff.
He could just pay the
He could just pay.
$75.
But
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
always-
Because you'll probably be sitting next to me anyway. I have the fear of rejection. That's what it is. If they were to say no, I would want to die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't ask a person. I
so
request
embarrassed.
upgrades using I put in
Of
a
course,
points
Natalie,
request,
yes.
and then you find out 24 hours
Throwing
ahead
a
of
bit of
time.
paper in a canyon.
No,
Bit of
no.
hoping
The
for the best.
FaceTime.
Yeah,
The computers are set up to steal your money. The people, they help you out.
Okay, Boomer.
got your money under your mattress as well, have you? What's going on
You
there?
sound like Sean, who's just started using PayPal.
Only the one today.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
So Sam Kerr, right? We love her.
Yeah.
We love her so much.
Scored again last night.
Oh, she's amazing.
Australia's 900th goal she
Yeah.
scored.
Amazing, isn't it?
And not just that, Sam is such a humble person, you know, when she's not playing, but when she's playing, she's a beast. And she does this amazing thing, or she used to, when she'd get a goal.
Sam Kerr cuts back to the right. Sam Kerr with another goal! And the backflip.
Every time, Nate.
I know, we love the backflip.
Until when?
She's stopped now because she's 30.
So she gives it the double arm pump,
Yeah.
right? She gives it the double arm pump. But we were waiting for the backflip. We've been waiting for the backflip.
No, she stopped. She stopped. She says, I'm 30 now. I can't do it.
Well,
Like-
she did blow out 2 calves during the World Cup. So maybe
Yeah,
that's got a little
that
and
bit
had
to
that
do with it.
that does have a lot to do
Yeah.
with it, but it's a really, really sad day when you realise you get to a time in your life where you need to retire something,
Yeah.
whether that's an ability or something that you're into.
I've never been able to do a backflip. No big surprises
I wish
there.
I could,
But
Natalie,
if
'cause I would
could,
never even
I would
walk.
never
Me
stop.
neither.
If
I'd never
I
stop.
was doing a backflip, I would literally leave here and backflip to the shop.
I know. I have a really long hallway at my house, and in my head, I think I could just do a quick tumbling pass down here because I think I'm Simone Biles. But the fact that I can't really disappoints me. So if I could, I would never stop.
And not just that,
course.
imagine for a single person, right? So you're out and you're at a bar and you're having drinks,
Yeah.
and then someone goes, oh, yeah, I had a bit of a chat with you, and you thought, you know what? I don't want to say anything that's going to embarrass myself, but I want to impress you right now.
Yeah.
And that's simply, I finish with you, Sean, I go, okay, great,
Yeah.
I'm just going to the bathroom. I put,
And
my,
then-
I put my cup down and then I backflip to the bathroom. You know what? You're taking me home.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. After the backflip, I know you're easy.
And flexible.
You possibly follow me to the bathroom. It's an enticing
guarantee.
thing. It's a powerful thing.
Yes.
absolutely.
And to think that she's retired at it breaks my heart a little bit.
Well, you do when you reach a certain age. I think it was 40 for me when I took all my all my
Toys.
collectibles. No, collectibles.
Toys.
Highly priced collectibles.
Toys.
Yes, granted, there is an Optimus Prime in a box.
Because I think what happened,
That's
Nathan,
worth a
is
fortune.
your friends started getting to the age where their kids wanted to play
They
with
did,
them.
and
you're
it
like,
was
"No, I'm gonna
really
put these
annoying.
away."
So now I need to put them away so they get ruined. But no, I realise that I'm a grown man, and this isn't dissing anyone that does that. I think when you got a rumour that's fantastic. But for me, I just thought this is being sad, and me, I just thought it was too much of a. It was a
Yes.
weird. It was a sad mix.
Yeah.
I think that was a good time to retire. I think 40 was the thing.
My
I
mate
think-
Popey.
Yeah, the Popey.
Oh, yeah.
My over
God
in
love
Esperance.
Popey.
I remember it was a couple of years ago, and he rang me and I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "I'm getting rid of all my DJing equipment." And I said, "Why?" And I said, "You are the
'Cause he loves
He
it.
is the DJ of Esperance."
Yeah.
Like, and he goes,
And there's
no,
not
he goes,
a lot. There's
and
not
he
a lot
goes,
of
I just
DJs
think,
there.
he goes, I just think that I need to like retire that, because he would do all the school formals. He
Yes.
still does it though now on the side, because I just
got a
like it, because
hankering for us
he
still,
got
no?
rid of all the stuff. But now he's gone. So he went from DJing now into beehives. So now he.
Wow. DJing to apiary.
beehives.
Yeah.
I think for me it was the...
And beehives does seem like a mid-40s.
Yeah, that seems age appropriate.
That seems age appropriate.
Yeah. I think back to when I went for the Caterpillar when I was at that nightclub
Yes.
in Brisbane.
Oh, you
So
never
I don't do
retire that.
break dancing until the Paris Olympics next year. I will not break dance. I've retired myself.
Yeah, but you might maybe a little cameo come back next year.
Well, I think it's like
to
poker.
celebrate.
Every now and then you just got to bring out the decks.
Yeah, you
Tell you
can't
what,
help it.
everybody, it's a big decision to retire, let alone retire something from your life.
Sometimes your hand is forced.
Sometimes
by
your hand is
circumstance,
forced.
maybe your body can't take it
Yeah.
anymore, or
Or
maybe
maybe you
your
realise-
wife's going to leave you if you keep it up.
Oh, we realise how sad you look.
Yeah.
That was mine. $300 to spend at IGA is going to go to someone.
Oh, nice.
That's going to make them happy. Tucker Fresh IGA open 7 days a week. Check out the newest store in Piara Waters for all the P-Warts.
And they love it. All right. Did you have to retire from doing something that you loved, but you realised for whatever reason you just can't do it anymore? Karen, hello.
Hello. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Okay, what did you have to retire?
Jumping in general. All types of jumping.
Why? What happened for you to get this to this stage?
So I was doing a workout, doing a box jump, and unfortunately my ankle went one way and my knee went the other.
Oh.
And in doing, I did a triple whammy. I ruptured my ACL. I tore my meniscus. And I fractured my bone all at the same time.
Wow.
Well done.
I mean, that's comprehensive. So no jumping at all. So you can't even jump over a puddle, for example.
No, walk
Nothing.
straight through it. Yeah.
Really? But going through a puddle's dangerous. You
Yeah,
don't know how
that's-
deep
yeah,
it
that's
is.
right,
And also
that's
a lady
true.
should never do it without a gentleman taking his jacket off there so you
on
can
the
cross
ground.
safely.
Not enough gentlemen in jackets around these days,
Oh, my
Nathan.
God, that's the main problem with this world, isn't it?
We're sorry about that. Thank you, Karen.
Jumping to me is up there. You don't jump all the time, but when you need to jump, you need to jump.
Yeah.
When it's taken away from you,
Sean, well, you can't jump. That means you plummet.
And, well, as we know, white men can't jump. So,
Oh, not at all.
famously. Thanks, Karen. Cara, hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Cara,
Hi, Cara.
what have you had to retire from?
I'm only 26 and I can't do the worm anymore.
Oh, Sean can't do the worm anymore.
know the
but hey,
feeling,
he
Cara.
made it into his 40s before he stopped.
The worm used to be like my house party kind of
Go-to.
thing. But unfortunately, I'm a dancer and I was at dancing and having to do it. And when I do it, my disc on the right side of my body actually slipped.
oh,
So you threw your back out.
Yeah, and I'm 26.
So when you throw your back out in mid-worm, I know that when you... I've never had a serious back injury or something slipping out, so I know it's really hard to move. So were you just lying on the ground incapacitated?
Yep, completely. On the floor in the middle of dance studio,
Yeah.
everyone looking at me like, why can't you move? And I was like, I can't move my back.
how did they get you? What happened from there? Did people have to come and get you out, stretch it off?
Yeah, basically, I had to get rolled over onto my back and kind of sort of dragged a little bit along the ground.
That sounds like the first night you were with Megan, doesn't it, Sean?
I'll do whatever it takes.
26, though, that's concerning.
Yes, it is
too young.
concerning.
26.
give up the
Imagine
worm.
never being able to do the worm again, Nathan.
But a dancer's body, though, Cara, yeah? You've put your body through some trauma.
Oh, absolutely. My knees pop out all the time now. I've got tendinitis, but I still dance, but yeah.
But just not the
No
worm.
worm.
The worm is over.
And what's the
No,
point?
worm
If you
is
can't do the
over.
worm, why even dance?
Why go to a house party?
Why is there
You
music?
got nothing. There's
Why
no
is it-
reason
why
for you
does
to be
music
invited.
exist?
Thanks, Cara. Elsa B, hello.
Hi.
Hey, Elsa.
Hey, Elsa.
Hey, what have you had to
Hello.
retire from?
Cartwheels.
Oh, I mean,
Hey, they get harder.
if you can do a cartwheel, it's not quite a backflip, but it's pretty good.
We are really touching on the world's problems, aren't we? We've heard a
Yes.
story about a girl that can't jump, another one that can't do the worm, and now we're hearing the sad tale of the lady that can't cartwheel.
What happened?
I'd love to cartwheel. I did gymnastics growing up, and my granddaughter's now doing acro and jazz and dances. She's very fit, and they're always up on the lawn doing cartwheels and handstands. And I did it in my, like a full do the splits and cartwheels in my 40s.
Yes.
When I got to 50s with my granddaughter, I tried it and I came down so hard. I was at bottom heavy. And I came down so hard, I dragged my butt muscles. And I couldn't sit for days. It was so painful.
Please tell me somebody was filming that. Please tell me someone filmed it.
No.
Can I just say, like, think about what her problem is. She said the problem is she's bottom heavy. So for you to get the power to get the bottom heavy thing up the top, that's a lot.
That's right. And as you get older, women do lose upper body strength as well. So your hands aren't holding you up like they used to.
But Nat, all of us who used to bang out the handstand at a drop of a hat, right?
Yeah.
We'd all have competitions. We know we did that.
I spent most of my life
I couldn't do a
upside
handstand
down
to save myself.
Yeah. No. Sad state of affairs, Elsaby.
Yes, but I'm getting fit now. I've lost weight and I want to do it again, but I need my granddaughter to help me. So I'll start with a handstand and then I'll come down by myself with my legs to make sure that I don't come down too heavy. And
yeah, you need to ease into it. Don't just go straight into the cartwheel.
Elsaby, can you make us a promise right now when you get to the stage of being able to do a handstand? Will you let us know and we will?
Yeah,
because we're
on board. We want you to cartwheel again.
We want to. We will have it live on our show. You doing a cartwheel.
I will do. I'm 68, so I'm going to try.
Mate, we'll get that sponsored.
You can do the last thing she does. But what a thrill!
I mean, what a way to go out doing something she loved. That's beautiful.
$300 to spend at IGA. Tucker Fresh IGA, open 7 days a week. Check out the newer store in Piara Waters. How many people have we had from Piara Waters today?
We love the P-Warts.
Kara's only 26. She's had to retire from doing the worm. She's going to get it. It's too young.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.